So, Mac versus PC. This is the age-old question since personal computers have been around, basically. And I'm gonna go over scientifically which one is better and which one is best for you. So stay tuned, hit like and subscribe for more scientific and technology content, and let's get right into the video. Okay, so let's first talk about the PCs. I've been using this Surface Pro for about 6 years now because I take notes on it pretty much every day while I'm in college. And it's been amazing. I love using PCs because of the easy access and the much available software that you can get on pretty much every platform. The software I use syncs my notes and documents and everything across all my devices, like my phone, my laptop, my tablet, everything. So that's one thing the PCs are really good at, is the ability to sync between different devices pretty seamlessly. One of the biggest benefits of PCs is the ability to get whatever device you want configured exactly how you want it. Because there are so many different devices and so many different device manufacturers that there is a device for pretty much everyone in the PC marketplace. So if you want a thin and light laptop, or you want a heavy gaming laptop, or you want a custom desktop, or you want a 2-in-1 tablet, you get everything you want in a PC. You can get anything you want, which is why PCs are so amazing. Now, the drawback on this is that some of them do have different reputations and build quality, and there are some that have bad reputations in thermal performance, quality issues, like keyboard issues and everything. But if you can do your own research and find like really good laptops like Dell XPS's, Lenovo ThinkPads, Microsoft Surface Pros, then you can find pretty much whatever you want in good quality at a good price point. That's another big factor about PCs, is the price to performance on them is actually really good. So much better than Macs, because PCs are in a more competitive marketplace, so they have to compete with other manufacturers to give you the best product, which is why PCs have so many different products and so many good manufacturers that sell PCs at good price points. So if you're looking for a good bargain and a device that can sync across all your devices, you won't have any limitations in software, and it works for pretty much every single application you can think of, then a PC is definitely for you. It's definitely the default personal computer that I would recommend to people. Now time for the MacBook. So I've been using this MacBook for about almost a year now, and pretty much this MacBook has been so amazing. If you haven't seen my review on the MacBook Pro, go ahead and click in the corner and it'll link you to my review of the 13-inch MacBook Pro. But in short, it's such an amazing device. The build quality on Macs and Apple products in general is amazing. So if you want a really good build quality, then get a Mac. They've had spotty reputations in the past with reliability, but that's kind of like a thing with Apple. You get what you get. There's no other options than what you get. If you need macOS, then you have to buy a Mac from Apple. Now there are ways around it using like Hackintoshes. Now the number one reason to get a Mac over a PC is for convenience. If you have an iPhone or an iPad already, you might as well get a Mac for the convenience. It is so much easier to text from my laptop than pull up my phone or anything. I know a lot of people who love to FaceTime from their Macs and iPads, even though I personally don't do that, but I know a lot of people who do, and just for the convenience factor, it's such an amazing deal. Now you do pay a premium for the Apple ecosystem, so you pay a premium on the hardware that you get on the Mac, but the specs are pretty decent. I only really run into issues on my 13-inch when I'm trying to edit videos, pretty much. But pretty much anything else, like running code, watching 4K videos, editing Photoshop stuff, it handles that perfectly fine. It's literally just my videos that I can't really edit on my 13-inch. But if you want to edit videos on a MacBook, you can get the 16-inch laptop with a dedicated GPU. That'd be so much better for you. Or even a desktop like an iMac or something. So there are some options for you if you want to go into the Mac ecosystem, but they are more limited. They're also more limited as well in their software. Now, Apple does a good job creating first-party software for video editing and photo editing and things like that, But third-party software support isn't too reliable on Macs, especially now that they're making the switch to Apple Silicon. You might not be in as good of shape if you just go for like an Intel PC. You might not get the same performance on these third-party applications. But if you plan on only using first-party Apple applications and you're already in the Apple ecosystem, a Mac is almost no big deal. And pretty much that's basically it. It's the laptop for everyone. Even with the M1 MacBook Pros, the MacBook Airs are starting to get pretty cheap, so they're getting pretty competitive in pricing to PCs now. So it's kind of up to you, really. I mean, as hard as that sounds, it's kind of up to you. Macs are more limited in the applications that they can use, but they are very neatly tied into the Apple ecosystem. So if you're already in the Apple ecosystem, you might as well just get a Mac. But if you want to run third-party applications and you're really into like tinkering with things and you're more open source focused, getting a PC is probably the way to go, because you can customize it however you want, you can get exactly the specifications that you want, you have more freedom and flexibility in the software that you use for it. There's so many benefits to PCs for enthusiasts, and not to mention gaming. If you're gonna do any gaming, you must get a PC. There's no reason to do any gaming on a Mac. It cannot do that. I know the M1 MacBooks have the entire App Store available to them now, but still, App Store games are not very fun to play in my opinion compared to PC games. So if you want to do any gaming, then a PC is definitely the way to go. Now there's one more thing I want to talk about, and that is this guy, the Raspberry Pi that I use. And this is my Linux machine. So I've been running Linux for about 2 years now, off and on, and it's super fun, it's super nice to use, but you have to be really into the system to know what you're doing and to not get viruses and everything. Linux has come a long way with its development, so it is getting up there with some of the top operating systems determining what distribution that you use for your Linux machine, but it's still probably an enthusiast operating system. I just wanted to throw it in there just to show that I use every operating system I can find, basically. I'm not really a fanboy to any of them. The reason I have all of them is because they all serve a very specific purpose. My MacBook is my on-the-go laptop that I can use to text and FaceTime and call from, which is just super convenient for me while I'm on the go. I have my custom PC desktop that I use for gaming, streaming, editing. I have my Surface Pro right here that I use for note-taking and on-the-go stuff as my tablet. So really, it really works out for me perfectly all the time. And really, if you're looking for a PC, now is a pretty good time to get a pre-built PC. If you're looking for the best hardware bang for the buck, there's some really good hardware out there. You might have to wait a little longer for shipping and for processing and everything, but PCs are a pretty good bargain right now too, as well as the MacBook Air and some other Windows laptops as well. But Windows laptops are getting a little dated now. I feel like Apple is starting to take over the laptop scene, kind of like how in the past 5 years Windows was the king of the laptop scene. And right now PC is the king of the desktop scene. For now, I would recommend, if you want something convenient and organized in the Apple ecosystem, get a MacBook. If you want a very powerful machine for video editing and photo editing, maybe look into a PC, a desktop PC. Or if you want something super powerful on the go, look into a PC as well for a mobile laptop. There are plenty of PCs out there with dedicated GPUs that can run perfectly fine video editing software and are even better than Macs. The number one reason to get into a Mac is definitely for the Apple ecosystem. The number one reason to get into a PC is definitely for the widespread availability and ease of use of applications and third-party support of them. But if you never plan on running some third-party applications, Macs are a really good value and a really good operating system. Alright, so that's my idea for PC versus Mac. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and click subscribe for more science and technology videos coming in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye!